The VolQuest 2-Minute Drill is brought to you by Craven Wings.
Craven Wings 2-Minute Drill on this Tuesday from a warmer Fort Lauderdale and Miami area as we get up closer to 70 today and then well into the 70s the next 3 days. Brent, you hear both sides, whether it be Brandon Streeter at Clemson talking about Tennessee's defense or Tim Banks of Tennessee talking about Clemson's offense, and there's a lot of mutual posturing going on about how impressive they all are and all that's going on. What do you feel like stood out today in listening to the coordinators talk?
Well, to me, it was about just they both believe in their unit, as you would expect. They believe in their side of the ball, but they really like the way that they've gone about their business and they've prepared. There's obviously a lot of excitement at Clemson right now with a young quarterback who played well against North Carolina. But in Brandon Streeter talking about, hey, it's back to work. We've got to make sure that nobody's sitting around going, boy, we're this great offense all of a sudden. In the quarterback talk today about just how he's trying to be normal every day. He was the focus and the center of attention, for everybody who was at the Clemson portion of the media press conference. And then from Tim Banks' side of things, just feels like his team continues to improve in some areas, likes their plan, knows they've got a heck of a challenge ahead of them. I think he feels very comfortable at the linebacker position. Even though Jeremy Banks is not here, I think you ask him about, it's not a surprise that he's not here. How much does that help you? And I think he indicated that he feels pretty comfortable where he's at linebacker.
Yeah, again, finding out on a Thursday that Jeremy Banks wasn't available for South Carolina and finding out several weeks ago that Jeremy Banks wasn't available or likely wasn't going to be available for this bowl game allows you to prepare differently. And Tennessee's defense has had more time to get Juju ready, to get Aaron Beasley ready, to get Elijah Herring ready, who can drew some praise for his improvement from start of the season to now.
Yeah, and I thought it was, Tim Banks said, we got some packages in. We'll see what happens on Friday. We'll see what they get to or they don't get to on Friday with some of that schematic stuff with those guys. I think when you look at Tennessee's defense overall, you wonder a little bit about where Trayvon Flowers is. You wonder how healthy is Brandon Turnage, in the secondary, exactly what that secondary looks like. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Wesley Walker in this game.
I agree.
At one of the safety spots. I may be wrong, but I just got a feeling that that's kind of where they're going at the safety spot right now, because I don't know that Flowers is 100%.
Well, and I'm with you. I'm interested to see what they do at corner. They've got most everybody healthy or healthier than they were last time we saw Tennessee play. What does that look like, though, come Friday? And again, I go back to my biggest key in this game is being able to tackle Will Shipley in space, whether it's when he's taking a handoff or taking a swing pass out of the backfield. I think Tennessee's going to have to really be a really good tackling team, and there's no guarantee of that when you've had a month off.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And again, it's the space game that you talk about. When you go back to that South Carolina game that Tennessee lost, South Carolina got in space. Whether it was the jet sweep stuff, they ran some stuff wide. I think Clemson's going to try to get on the edge against Tennessee and see if Tennessee can play in space, whether it's in the passing game or it's running the wide zone stuff. How does Tennessee handle sideline to sideline at the safety position and the linebacker position against Clemson's tight ends and tailbacks? I think it is going to be a key to this game in particular.
Out of practice today, still a lot of red jerseys, especially at running back.
Yeah, but they're not hitting anyway.
Yeah, correct. They're not. You're right. What stood out today for you, though?
Well, again, I think the weather was better, so that probably helped everybody's juice a little bit. It's game week, and we don't normally see what game week looks like here. So you just get a sampling of just some fundamental turnover circuit stuff, and then immediately they're going into team stuff. What does that rotation at receiver look like? We talked about that on the podcast. I think Brew McCoy is going to be good to go. Does he hold up, and how does he hold up? A guy that I think continues to play well, and I don't think has got enough praise this year, is Ramel Keaton.
Agreed.
Ramel Keaton just carries himself on the practice field with a ton of confidence, Austin. And I don't mean in a cocky way, but he's a guy who totally has confidence in himself, one of the hardest workers on this team. I think there's a lot of comfort with Joe Milton and Ramel Keaton. He's going to play a ton and factor in heavily in this game.
It's the Craven Wings 2-Minute Drill on this Tuesday. Tomorrow we'll talk to the offensive coaches. That's led by Joey Halsley, and the offensive players, and then, of course, the big head coaches press conference coming up on Thursday. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. Don't forget to hit up Craven Wings for all your food needs this holiday season.
When you're craving wings, it's got to be Craven Wings. Online at cravenwings.com.